All right, John is on, so let's begin.
Let's go. All right, welcome everyone. So we've got some administrative actions and construction updates to go through. First is the meeting minutes of September 19th.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes as professionally written of September 16th,
19th.
19th, excuse me. That little dyslexia just kicked in again.
Second.
All right. Is there any questions or comments regarding the minutes of September 19th, 2024? Hearing none, is there any objection to approving the minutes of the meeting of the Permanent Building Committee for September 19th, 2024? Hearing none, they're approved.
Next up are the invoices. So who wants
All
to
right,
take?
I move that we approve second left field invoices for, hold on, I've got Wayne's face over the numbers.
You can also just vote on the totals that are on
The
the
total?
left side.
All right. We don't have to list each one.
No, you just can,
So,
you can say
Okay,
invoice
so for
39.
September 24, for left field total invoices of $145,451.90.
Second.
Any questions or comments regarding the invoice of OPM left field for dated September 30th, May 26th, and September 29th for the total of $145,451.90? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes,
Phil,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
approved. Unanimous.
I move that we approve for SMMA invoice 006-2058 and 006-1872 for the total sum of $335,790.98.
Second.
Any questions or comments regarding SMMA's invoice? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes,
Phil,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
it's unanimous.
I move that we approve AFP 6 dated 9/30/24 for bond construction, total of $6,546,294.75.
Second.
Any questions or comments regarding bonds, invoices?
Yeah, it's Wayne. Couple of questions. Can somebody explain what the retainage withheld from contractor is?
There's every
So-
time, there's a 5% retainage, is that right, Lynn?
Yes,
So every time the bills go out, we retain 5% till the end of the project or the end of their work for any subcontractor. Isn't that right, Lynn?
yes.
All right. And essentially then that 5% is held.
Until we're satisfied, the work is complete and we're satisfied with their work, and then we pay that 5%.
So it's sort of make sure that everything is done correctly. They don't get paid their full amount. They get paid 95% and we retain, and there's a retention of 5% as a guarantee that their work is complete and approved by everyone.
And just another.
And then as
Go ahead.
I said, as the end of the project nears, there are different groups that will request their retainage to be released. And we'll determine whether we do that or not.
Another quick one, Division 5, the steel, is it on site or is it, what's the status of the steel?
We'll
Mark?
get that in the construction update, but it's coming.
So we're
Yeah,
paying
it's-
$3 million for steel.
So it's
We
been
Correct.
have to
verified.
pay for fabrication.
And there was a third-party inspector went up to verify what was fabricated, and what was up at their shop in Quebec. But we are, not to step on the construction update, but we are starting structural steel next week. So we'll see it
Beautiful.
well
All right.
before this is due.
Thank you.
When's it arriving?
Monday.
Oh, Marcus, it's Monday, right?
Construction
Yeah,
update.
Sorry. Gotta tease it.
Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, you were muted
Okay,
earlier, Marcus.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right, any other questions regarding bond invoice? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes,
Mark,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
approved, unanimous.
I move that we approve UTS invoice for $336.25.
Second.
Any questions or comments regarding UTS? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Wayne,
yes,
Mark,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Okey-doke. All right, Lynn?
Yep, next. Tim? Oh. So a quick budget update. As of September 30th, we have committed 92% of the overall budget and we have expended 15%. This translates to a commitment of $220,459,379 and an uncommitted amount of $33,721. So I didn't get this in this month, but what we will do for next month, because we moved, we had $3,438,360 in the alternate category for the Hemlock Road roundabout work. I will be doing a contract amendment to move that into the construction budget, and you can see it here. You can see it here, reflecting that we made that move to get it out of the alternates and into the construction budget. In case we need it during construction and also to help us out with reimbursement with MSBA.
All right, is there any questions or comments regarding the budget? Hearing none. Lynn?
Okay, just quickly where we're at with our cash flow. We are tracking a little bit above our projected expenditures. And that's basically because we had a big prepayment on the structural steel, but also we've been accelerating the schedule for the entire summer into September, so.
Any questions on the cash flow? Hearing none. Okay, Lynn?
We have a contract amendment left field because we paid for printing services and mailing services for the abutters meeting and the groundbreaking ceremony. Because we paid for it in order for us to for the town to pay us, we have to incorporate that within our budget. So that's why it's a contract amendment. We're taking it from a budget that we already have in the project, the advertising and printing budget.
So I move that we approve amendment number 5 for the sum of $451.90 to left field.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
Tom,
Yep.
Aaron,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
approved, unanimous.
There you go. So we have an internal change order. We had a quick working group meeting prior to our Butters meeting last Thursday night. This is an internal change, meaning that there is no change in the contract sum to bond. But in the spirit of open book accounting, we are indicating that we are using the various allowances that we had committed in the construction budget in order to pay for some of the issues that have come up on site. And this is an accounting of it. And again, it's $0, but this is so that you understand that we are utilizing various allowances within the GMP.
Is there any questions or comments regarding the internal change order number 4? I have one.
Yeah.
It says the speed tables at 6 locations.
Excuse me?
Yeah, so
It says,
Yeah.
it's 3 locations, but it's on either side of the road. So it'd be there's 6 of them.
oh, so
Six
it's not
speed
6
tables.
locations.
Well, it is.
On each lane is a
It's-
different.
Three.
Not
The
my
lawyer in
definition
you
of
coming out.
location, Chip.
Well, that's the lawyer in you coming out.
Yeah, that's not my, and
You
I'll.
can't have if it's a right and left lane, that's 2 locations.
And it's not continuous across the road, so that's why.
But you know he hates
And
me.
the other thing is,
Paying for these speed bumps from the beginning, so you just have to deal with it.
yeah, and just for the record, the working group had some questions regarding why this project is paying for these speed tables and not directly the Department of Public Works budget. I myself have an issue with it, but because it's a minor amount, so be it, but I don't want to ever see again that we're paying for something that has been requested and suggested that makes more sense that the Department of Public Works pays for it and not us. But that's my speech on that.
Just a
Because this project is part of, it's the debt exclusion under 2.5, and it's not, a speed table like this should have been paid out of their budget. But anyway,
Can I ask about allowance 03? Can somebody explain that?
So on PCO 603, we drew down from allowance 3, which was the DPW came out and tried to get a shut off on a water main so we could tie into it. They couldn't do that, so we had downtime for Albanese, the utility contractor, for a day and a half.
$20,000 to stand around?
It is a good sized crew and their equipment.
There's nothing else they could do.
No, unfortunately, we tried, but there wasn't anything. And if we sent them away, we didn't know when we were going to get them back. So
And just to be clear, that was not the site contractor that was specifically there for.
For the utility
building.
work.
Yeah.
So who called the DPW?
obviously.
They had to
bond-
do the shut off, the bond. It was all coordinated for the Hemlock Road work. So all a timing thing, all coordinated, all timed out, and our town stuff didn't work the way it was supposed to. Couldn't have seen it, couldn't have known it.
Is this going to happen again for $20,000 of my taxpayer money?
Yep,
Who's
You've already
coordinating?
approved the budget. You've already approved the
I
budget,
know,
Wayne.
Shep, I understand that. Don't try to shut me up. I got a question about $20,000
Well, they-
downtown.
Correct, and we've
They
answered.
answered
it.
it.
I'm not
DPW
trying
not
to shut
providing
you up.
positive shut off?
they,
We're
yeah,
standing around all day waiting for the DPW?
correct.
Correct.
They were there working, trying to do it, and they were waiting for them to do it, and they couldn't get it done for a day and a half. They were on standby right there with them the whole time they were trying to.
It was not,
make
it's
this
not the
happen.
contractor's fault, it's not Bond's fault.
Jesus. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe you want to have a problem with it, contact the Department of Public Works, let them know. Nothing that we could do if they didn't show up.
Shouldn't our building committee have something to say about this?
We are right now. But
I mean, I don't know what you want us to say,
What-
Wayne.
what-
What would you like us to say?
Why are we learning about this now? $20,000 after the fact. Why wasn't someone called?
They were called, Wayne.
They were called. They never showed up for a day and a half.
Yes,
They
Yes.
couldn't do the work. They were
No,
trying.
They were
Get the work
there, they were
done.
trying to do it. And the shut off
Go,
didn't
go,
work.
go do something else. Standing around for $20,000?
Wayne,
When you invite a specialty contractor to the site to start work on a specific day and you ask them to stand around and wait, helping, or thinking that the work was gonna get done and it didn't, you gotta pay them. You can't, you don't, nobody sent them away because they kept thinking it was gonna be ready for them any moment. It just didn't happen.
That is a sad explanation, Lynn, I tell you that. That's a sad explanation.
it's not a sad explanation, it's the truth and
The
what the
truth.
I
biggest
don't feel
problem
it's the
is.
truth or not, but it's a sad explanation. Telling us they can't leave. They gotta stand around because nobody showed up.
Right, and
Would
the
it-
fault's
Wayne, it
It's
would've
not
DPW.
that they
been-
didn't,
if
wait,
we would've
it's
sent
not
them
that they
away-
didn't
That's
show
bizarre.
up. It's not that they didn't show up. It's they couldn't get the shut off to work. They showed up. They
Then
kept
go-
thinking the next,
So,
that the shut off would finally be available and then get started again. I don't know what you
So I
think
guess
they
I'm-
were
I guess-
supposed to do.
I guess I'm one voice in the wilderness here on our building committee. One voice in the wilderness. No one ever says another word about 20 grand down the crapper.
What, Wayne, with all,
Because we understand what happened.
Wayne, with all due respect, I think your question's been answered. I'm not being silent because I disagree that 20 grand is ridiculous, but this just happened to me at one of my buildings that the City of Cambridge water shut off wouldn't work. So we had to wait for the city to come out. Meanwhile, I'm paying a plumber, paying an electrician. Now it's not to the scale of 20 grand, but it's the same scenario. So I understand the scenario and that's why I'm not saying anything. I think it is a ton of money and I wish I wish the shut off worked, but I'm not saying anything just because I understand it. So your question seems answered, but if it doesn't, I hear your pain. It's a lot of friggin' money for this big project. I hear you.
It's not even like it's a contractor we have on site every day that could go off and be doing something else. It was a specialty contractor for the work that we had, related. So they were there just for that specific work. We couldn't send them off to do something else on site. We
Well, I
would have
guess-
had to
I guess-
send them away, and if we couldn't get them back when we needed them, then we would have been delaying the schedule, which would have cost even more than 20,000.
I guess according to Phil, my question's been answered.
It
Well,
has.
Well, not according to me. I'm just listening. I'm just listening to what they're
Let's
saying.
move
is
on.
all.
Let's move on.
All right, is there any other questions regarding change order, internal change order number 4?
I make a motion to approve the internal change order number 4 for the sum of $222,808 for SOE as
It's really
GM.
SOV,
SOV, right?
yeah,
V as in Victor,
yes.
as a GMP contingency drawdown, resulting in a zero net change to the total construction contract as presented.
Second,
Any further questions or comments? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
Tom,
yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
it's approved.
So not a question on this one specifically, but we're gonna have more of these, correct, Lynn?
Yeah, Probably
So
every
what I-
month. I mean,
Right,
we
so,
put these
so
on-
what I would like to see for whoever puts this together, I'd like to see what the original in the contract, what the original line item for the drawdown was, and then what's left in that line item after we take money out of it, just so we know what we're using it, just like we would on a normal contingency.
Yeah,
Um,
did we not provide you with the holes in allowance and contingency log that
Yeah.
shows what the remaining amounts are?
Yeah, I got
thought
them.
that was provided, so,
It was. Chip,
Okay,
you-
I
in the
guess I'd
back-
just like to go through it
oh, in the meeting?
in the meeting so that we can
Okay.
see it. Because to be honest with you, I don't necessarily look at every page. I'm
Chip, that
like
was.
like everybody else here working and stuff to get through the pages and pages and pages that are presented for each of these meetings.
Chip, that
Right.
was actually one of the things I was gonna mention tonight, because I did go through them. And I had a couple of questions on the holds and things of that nature, because there seemed to be some repeating of it. But I do think we're gonna have to start going through those, Lynn, as part of the regular, part of our meetings.
Okay,
Ma-
that's fine.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
So do you want to ask your questions now?
I had, there was, Lynn, when I looked through the holds and the contingency matters and things of that nature, there appeared to be a duplication regarding the scoreboard of the softball field. Could you just look into that?
Yes,
Okay, because it seemed to
Yeah.
be two different areas where they were either a hold or whatever. And it just didn't make a lot of sense.
are you sure it wasn't the softball in the Beasley Oval scoreboards?
No, the way it was written, it was a softball. So take a look at that. It seemed to be I just didn't understand that one. And, one other.
And if it makes sense, we can do what I just asked also at the working group when we go through all these
Right,
polls,
Right.
and so that we don't have to take time at tonight's meeting.
the other one, quickly, if you could look at it, there was a hold on the PCO log regarding additional test peers. I thought that stuff was additional tests and those things, we had a separate line item for that, we don't need to have a hold on that.
So we have testing, which is independent testing outside of the GMP. That's UTS doing that work, but there is testing required of the contractor, which is carried in the GMP. And that's an allowance if something comes up and we need to do extra testing.
So why is there a hold on that?
Well, it's money reserved in case we need it, and we'll draw down from it if we need it.
Okay, so I think we gotta go over these, at the working group, then maybe that might be the first thing to do. And then go over with the whole committee, because it's really complex and a lot of pages, as Chip mentioned, to go through, okay?
Yeah. Okay, no problem. So we have,
So-
I don't know who from Bond's gonna give us the construction update.
I'll take the lead on that. So this is just a picture of building C foundation walls. It's one of the pours going in. We're trying to close all the foundations in as structural steel stuff. This is just a picture of some of the piers that we have formed up, ready to be poured. In front of you is the foundation wall. You got the ABB, the damp proofing, the foundation insulation on it. This is the duct bank that came down from the power plant that the city is going to be building. That's coming around the backside of the spool, going to where those 3 boxes are. Is going to be where the transformers are. That's another picture of the backfill of the electrical duct bank. And this is the retaining wall up there up a lot that we're backfilling currently. We're at the point where tomorrow we're bringing in dense grade, getting that installed tomorrow and Saturday, and then Don Martin, the paver, is coming to do fine grade on Monday, and then doing the first layer of binder pavement on Tuesday.
Are we still on schedule to open that November 1st?
Eighth.
It's on November 8th, and we are still on track for that. This is the acid waste piping in Building A. We got that in because it's kind of a deeper excavation. We wanted to use the bigger machines, as you can see in the picture, before structural steel starts. Overall update on the schedule. So Grigley is doing various tasks up in the upper lot. It's kind of a focus right now to get that turned over for November 8th. Like I said, they finished the backfill on that. That currently will go into drainage, install, get that all done, and then just prepping for paving starting Monday, Tuesday. They're working tomorrow and Saturday to finish up all the site utilities up there. Building foundation, so we're working excavated backfill and prepping all the remaining footings in D, E, and F, getting that wrapped up probably in the next month to allow sale to continue. Utilities is ongoing as we can. We're doing sanitary piping, the duct bank, as you saw in the picture, and then working on the temps electrical service to get that up and running. The softball field, the fine grade for infield and outfield was completed today. The fence around the field was completed as well, except for one section which we left open to allow the sod to come in. The sod is getting cut Monday, delivered Tuesday, and be installed for a couple of days. So by the end of next week, the softball field will be restored.
Do you know if the sod's coming big rolls, or is it coming in the small pieces?
I don't.
And if you don't know, that's okay.
I don't know, and I'll follow up with a.
No need to. It was a curiosity, not
a. Concrete, J.R. Marshall, the foundations continue that. Trying to get that wrapped up in the next month. Just working on retaining walls, the pits, and some shear walls, and that's kind of about it for them. Norgate structural steel, so the crane's getting delivered tomorrow, and the first load of structural steel is coming on Monday. And that's about it for on site right now.
Do you know the logistic plan of steel coming to the site, and how many trailers and the time they're showing up and all that stuff? Who's on top of that? I know there's been meetings about it. I know public safety is very concerned about trucks and school and the mix of the two. So I'm just curious as to what the plan is, if somebody here knows that.
So I don't know it off the top of my head, but we do have a detailed delivery schedule from Norgate showing what days trucks are coming and how many trucks are coming. We've talked to them a bunch of times about deliveries and what routes they can come in from the highways, and then we also told them about the blackout delivery hours when pick up and drop off. So everybody's well aware of it. I can follow up with more details on exact deliveries for next week.
Yeah,
And
Chip,
you've been in-
that's sorry.
Yeah, have you been, Brendan, have you been in contact with the police and everything involved with it?
Yeah, so Jerry is really all over that. So I can follow up with him in the morning. But yeah, no, he's scheduled all that. I believe the plan is to bring the trailers in first thing. That's why we requested a 6 o'clock start. So ahead of any school drop-offs. I believe some were coming in off of Hemlock, and certainly the later sequences are coming between the two schools on the other side of the high school. I don't know which trailer is which, but I can reach out to Jerry and have him send something over.
So
Okay.
for future meetings, when we have sensitive issues like this, somebody that is presenting should really know these answers. Because
Sure,
that's what these
absolutely.
meetings are for, to make sure that we're on top of all these things, which I know Jerry is, but somebody here should be able to say, we got 2 trucks coming. They're on the side of Hemlock waiting to come in, because this is a sensitive issue for the town, for the school, all of these things. And we just need, I know Jerry's all over, but we should know what the plan is.
Absolutely. Yep, we'll get a download from Jerry ahead of these if he's not gonna be on.
Thank you.
Is that something, Chip, that maybe Jerry should send something out to us to get an idea of the schedule and everything?
I mean, I know he's on top of it, so I'm not too concerned about it. And I'm just more concerned. I don't need to see it. I know he's on top of it.
Okay,
Again, for me, it's more of a curiosity, just to make sure we got everything in place.
okay.
Sure.
If others feel they need to know what the schedule is and they'd like to know, then he could certainly bang something out if we thought that was necessary. We've been through this once with him, so we had no issues at Galvin. I expect no issues here.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's all over it, and we'll Marcus and I will be better informed next time if Jerry's not here.
Thank you.
All right, Lynn?
Next, Tim. So, our next, meeting or tour of the site is scheduled for November 7th. And the next permanent building committee meeting is scheduled for November 14th.
Is that tour at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock?
Gonna be at 4 o'clock because it gets dark at 5.
So we're gonna flip it, right?
We're gonna
Yes.
flip, the tour is gonna be at 4. And the meeting of the, working group will be at 5.
Yeah.
Okay,
One thing I did want to say is I got an email from our project manager at MSBA. Next Wednesday, 23rd, we were supposed to have a site visit from MSBA, but they asked me to change it to the following Wednesday, which was October 30th. So I did that. You probably saw the change in the meeting notification, but I just wanted to bring that up.
yeah, I saw it.
Does anybody from PBC need to be there for that?
I'll be there.
Joe will be there.
Is that a necessity or is that because,
They like somebody from
okay,
from the project, from the town side to be
Yeah, I can be
there.
there.
But,
I check my schedule. I can be there.
doesn't interfere with golf?
I hope not. If it does, you're gonna be there.
I'm the tap on the shoulder?
Yes.
Okay. Question on total overall schedule that somebody may or may not be able to answer. I know if you listen to the cash flow, we've accelerated some of the schedule. Has the schedule been accelerated enough to see any change in our end date or not?
not yet. I mean, I think it's really, making
I know.
sure we
You
stay
know
on
I'm gonna-
schedule, but, I'll let Bond say if they think it's a possibility.
Yeah, it's too early to tell. I think we're close to publishing an update. It's showing the same turnover date. We're
But
certainly not
steel-
behind.
steel-
Sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
is steel starting on the same date as it was expected to?
I think it was like
Or is
3.
it early?
It was 3 or 4 days after, and that had more to do with, I think we had steel starting, the middle of the week this week, which was going to be a short week. We kicked it to Monday, so it was more of a
Okay.
site logistics thing, but we were certainly ready for it.
Okay, so certainly, so even though cash flow is trending in advance, we're right on schedule as far as the construction goes.
Yes.
Okay.
Also curious thing for schedule wise. Do we know when the MLD is gonna be starting their work?
They've already started.
They
Have
cut
they?
trees. Well, they've cut trees but that's about it.
Cleared,
That's it?
cleared
Yeah,
site,
that's,
right?
I didn't think that they had done anything more than just the
They-
preliminary.
Haven't they been extending their line down the road?
They did,
So
they
they
did
have-
make it, they installed the duct banks for both projects, so, and the gas
Yeah.
line.
Okay. All right, is there anything else, Lynn?
I think that's it.
Joe,
Alright.
Joe, it's Phil. I have a quick question for
go ahead.
Leftfield. At the Butters meeting, there was discussion about people being able to sign up for email notifications. And I'm just remembering I would have emailed you prior. I've been on the website, but I can't find the link for someone, like I was gonna sign up just to go through the process. And where is the link? So if someone goes on the project website, I don't know if you can share it or whatever, that
Tim,
people
can you
sign
share
up for.
can you,
Yeah.
I can tell
can you
Phil
pull
it's
up the
not up there
project?
currently because they're in the process of updating the website with a new look too,
Can you
independent
can you
of the
bring it up?
button.
Okay, so it's not there. Okay, so do we know when
It's-
that's gonna be? Because we directed people to do that. I know we took some emails the night of for the people that were, the few people that were at the abutters meeting, which is my second question.
I
is
have
like,
an email out to
Yeah.
them, Phil.
Okay.
I'll give him a call to our web developer. I
Yeah.
know it's in process, but it has not happened yet. So I will.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss where it was. And then the second thing on the FAQ on that, there's a question about that we're gonna be holding a butters meetings every 6 months, is what the answer is to one of those ready-made questions.
I
With
think
the
you want to take that off, right?
Well, with the low turnout, I question the amount of money that was paid in support, from the engineers, left field, SMMA, to the TV staff for the 6 people that were there. I almost wonder if we can go to a pre-recorded or some other format maybe to save money. It seems like it was an expensive venture. I don't want to shut down open communications and updates, but I think we need to think about maybe doing it a different way that we could save probably the town and the project, because I'm guessing the project is paying for that time. I'm imagining people aren't there for free.
It's part
in
of their
some way.
it's part of their, Bill, it is part of their contract.
We could
Okay.
do it by Zoom, though. I think you
I know,
might
We could
get
do it
more
by
attention.
Zoom, or we could also just keep a really good website going and they can answer, get questions answered on that, give construction updates on that as well, so.
Yeah, you could do a pre-recorded slideshow real quick and post it as the update too. So
Yeah,
I don't
they-
know I don't know if it was I just didn't know if it was like necessary for us to have these meetings, or if it was it just it was a
It
good
wasn't
meeting.
necessary. It was at the very beginning. We thought that made
Right.
sense to do that. But due to the lack of interest of the last meeting, I don't think it is appropriate to have another one unless it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, like people were asking us design questions. Like it was just for those that weren't here or didn't see it, like there was questions coming in that would have come up 3 years ago when we were talking, it just it's a little.
I had answers that nobody liked to those questions.
I know. So, okay, I just wanted to ask those. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Lynn.
Yeah, and I think Tim and I will get with Jim Rogers because we're not getting the service we want out of our web designer, so
Yeah,
we'll try to
Yeah,
push that.
yeah, we gotta make sure that that's updated, accurate, kept on top of, and that's gonna solve 90% of these issues. And I don't think there are any issues yet, but let's make sure there aren't any.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be some placeholder link for now they can throw on the homepage while they redesign. There's got to be some stopgap they can at least throw on the homepage up on top until they figure it out. So, okay, thank you.
All right, anybody got anything else?
That's it.
All right, so
I move that we adjourn.
the next meeting will be on the 7th of the sewer. And everybody who wishes to adjourn, click leave meeting and have a happy Halloween coming up here.
Go
You
Chiefs.
too, Joe. See you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Good
Thanks.
night.
Thank